Yo, what's up guys, it's Fullyspaced, and today we're going to be doing something a bit different than we would usually do. We're actually going to do starting a new world and how to kind of progress and make your world looking kind of really nice. So how to start your own kind of survival world and just get it looking the way you want it. I'm basically going to start off by playing this world here. I will actually be using creative purely for the purpose that I'm making this video on how to kind of get a nice looking world. Basically how to do your world right from the beginning, and just get a nice feel for it, and kind of a few ideas on how you can improve your world and how you can start out when playing in this game. Obviously there's multiple ways you can play in Minecraft. There's so many. You can play adventuring, you can run around all you want, you could instantly build a hole in underground base, for example. You could build whatever. There's no limit to what you can and can't do, so you could literally do whatever you would like. But for this video I will be showing you what I'm going to do and kind of give you some tips on how to start your world for anybody out there who is kind of new to this. So the first thing I will definitely be doing is actually jumping over to creative. Obviously I'm going to be kind of going off the things that are around me, so we're going to be using things like, already I can see birch, oak, we've got spruce over here, so I'm quite lucky that I got a spawn like this. Is a really good one. For anyone who actually needs a seed, is that I will actually copy that and put it in the description for you guys so it doesn't get lost, or so you guys don't have to kind of pause the video and watch it. Pause the video and type it all out even. But yes, we'll jump into creative. As you can see here, we've got this small little forest, we've got a few things in the distance. Just, you know, not too much going on here, just kind of plain area. But I think I'm going to set a base just around here. As you can see, it's quite nice. Very nice location. We've got a little forest and things going on. Now instantly I can already see hobbit hole potential, or I could go for a house, or you could build some sort of underground bases. I've seen many dips and caves around, but for this purpose I'm just going to build a simple oak house. So what I'm going to do is quickly jump on over to the menu, say that you've got some logs, you've obviously got some planks. I see a bit of birch there too, so I'm going to actually use birch planks, and obviously there's going to be cobble within like 3 blocks down. So there'll be stone that you can make into cobble. So we're going to use basic things like that, for example, and then obviously from there we can do. Your house is probably not going to look the best the first time you do it, but you can actually already use things like stripped oak logs for texturing, because you can cut them down, then just right click them with an axe. So nice simple things there. But first thing I'd probably do is actually get a place for your house. So you could actually build it just here in the middle. There's nothing around it yet, but that will be something that you can come around to and actually build your own kind of design to it. So I'm actually going to build it at 5 by 5, so it's going to be a tiny little house, like so. So we're going to have a nice 5 by 5 house here, a really kind of small one. We'll get you started for a minute, but we'll build it up by 4. So we'll just add another 3 on top of these. And that will basically be the roof. Not the roof. This is going to be the frame. So already you can see this is a small house, but that doesn't matter because during your playthrough, you're always going to expand your house. So we're going to start off with this tiny little thing. Mostly this thing's going to be used for storage, and as soon as we've done that, we can expand it even more. If you want to already, and you've decided to collect enough wood, you could already build out. So you could go a bit further along and actually give yourself a bit more space. So you could do something like this. This would already give you just that tad more space. Obviously it's only going to be slightly more expensive to do something like this, so it depends like what you want to do with it, and how you kind of want to play around with it here. So I'm actually going to leave it like this, and we're going to just kind of create a nice little house here. So what I'm actually going to do is create another frame. So we're going to go up by 4 here, so 1 2 3 4, and already we're probably looking at a decent sum of wood being used here. If it was planks, obviously it's going to be so much cheaper, but it's not. So we've got quite a large sum of normal wood. Obviously turning all this into planks would be so much, you would have so much more blocks to work with, but you also wouldn't get the nice looks of your base. So just creating a nice little starter house here is going to be your key kind of phase for this. So obviously this is probably, I'm going to use this as a little balcony area, and then we'll use the roof up here. So all we're gonna need to do is just mine out some cobble. Obviously we don't really need to texture right now, we're quite new into the world. For those of you who kind of are new to this new to my channel, or new to or haven't seen me before, I basically just generally am more of a builder, so I just like to make things look really cool and pretty. But obviously you can have some crazy roofs and things on this if you really want to, or you can just keep it plain and simple. I'm just going to go with a bit of a kind of cool roof here, just to kind of give me a nice feel. This is something that I'd probably build within the first couple of nights, just because I generally like to make things look really good so I don't have to go back and fix them. Obviously I'm going to have to fix this at some point. I can texture it all and so on and so forth later on, but for now I'm just going to show you guys how to kind of create this really nice little base here. So yes, we're going to expand this and basically copy this whole design that we've been doing all the way around here, and this will give us a really cool looking roof, really nice little starting house, and already you're going to have a nice tower up here too that you can use for looking out, or you can use for storage, whatever you want to use it for. Feel free to, you know, pick and choose, but obviously you just want to copy the exact design like I've been saying, and then fill it in. So we're going to finish this build right here, 2 up, and then obviously stairs on top, not in that direction preferably, like so. If you've already got some different kind of blocks, you can actually texture this with different things like stone and andesite, but for now I'm just going to keep it like so. I won't add anything too fancy to it as of right now, because I just want to keep the expense of this base down as much as I can. So we're actually going to just use some oak, and then we're going to use more like stripped, and we'll just texture it up. Obviously, like I was saying, I didn't want to use too much, but I'm just kind of showing you what you can do, and how you can kind of create a nice base off the start of your world. I couldn't imagine this taking too long. It probably at longest may take you up to an hour or so. However, obviously I'm in creative because I'm showing you for this video. I could have done it in survival. Would have took me a lot longer to do the video, and currently I don't have a lot of time due to the fact that, you know, COVID's kind of still a thing, but work is now becoming more accessible, so you know, there's things I have to go back to doing actual real life jobs, and yeah, it's not quite as fun, but you know, it's a life that I've got. It's just things you got to do. But anyway, as you can see here, we've textured this whole thing. Glass obviously is going to be a crucial thing. If you want to get these in, you can add in glass, which is a really nice little thing you can do, or you can add in some fences. And then, so I'll probably go with oak fences here. Get some trapdoors too, as well, just in case you can't afford glass or you can't find any. If you spawn in a hard place to kind of live, you can easily create some simple windows like so, using this little fence design and trapdoor design here. And you can repeat this process wherever you want. So you can actually open your windows and things as well down here, creating this nice little design there, which is just something that you can play around with and just check out really. Just, you know, it's always finding a way to interpret and add different things to your build, and not just stick by using something that you kind of know. So adding glass is something that you probably would think of, but obviously if you don't have the time and resources to do that, you can obviously make up different ways to add windows in, for example, so if that makes any sense at all. But yes, hopefully that did, and there isn't any too much confusion of what I've been going on with. But now you can also fill in this top bit of the roof here, like so. If you want to, you can also texture this. I probably wouldn't recommend it, just to save yourself quite a bit of materials, but you know, you could obviously create such a smaller roof as well, but I just purely went for the large roof here. So it's more creating a nice little starter base for you here, and then obviously we fill in this section here and here. We're going to need a place for food as well, so we're going to sort that on in a little bit. But for now, we're just going to get up this nice little build here. So basically, I'm showing you how to create a nice little starter house, and then we're going to get a nice little kind of, probably, I imagine if we go into these, I can already see there, we've got some berries. There's already an instant win. You know, somewhere like this, you can get some berries down and continue your journey. Berries obviously aren't the greatest thing for surviving, but it's better than having no food and just having to repeatedly kill yourself. So that's always a plus side to that one. And then obviously now we just need to fill in the inside. Once again, you don't have to use the stripped oak. If you can't afford it, don't worry about it. It's just a personal preference, and then if you want to, you can add these along here too, if you want a more of a rustic feel to your build. So it's just something to take note of there. And then just fill the inside in like you've been doing, like so. and like so. There's that. And then we fill in this side as well. Filling it in here. And just maybe we'll lift this one up a bit like so we can get a nice actual roof in here. You can break that too, and you don't actually need that there as well. Obviously, if you can't afford glass, once again, go with the trapdoor design. You can use whatever you want. You can use any type of trapdoors and things here. So you can have oak, but spruce obviously looks better, so it just kind of depends on what you're getting. And obviously if you want to fill in the gaps at the top, you can do, add some lighting in. Birch I would probably use for floor. Birch is always a great one for the flooring. You can add ladders and trapdoors up here. Going to be nice simple and cheap way is what I was trying to say, but it came up with a new word called chimple. So, you know, something to, I don't know how I've done that. That's pretty impressive, but yeah, and missing a window here too. And then I actually want a nice little kind of patio area up the top here like so, with a fence around it. And this has all pretty much come off the top of my head. I haven't actually kind of prepared any of this. This is just showing you what you can kind of do off the top of your head with just a bunch of wood, and creating a simple kind of base, which is you know, something that if you like building, I don't know how to do it, just kind of come up with designs out of nowhere. Maybe it's just like, I don't know, it's just one of those things where I've built quite a lot, so these designs just kind of stick in my head. But you can add whatever you want in here, and then obviously you can add some ladders in, for example. I'll add the ladder in here. You can have trapdoor there as well, and the ladder go further up to this one as well. So you've already got a decent amount of floors in here actually. So now we got a ladder to here. We can add that there. Obviously don't miss your windows like I've done here. I've done that for a few of them now, but there you go, you've got some simple kind of windows there, door there. You know, you got this nice looking simple house already without any kind of exterior details. We haven't used glass, we haven't used anything like that. You can use things like campfires and extinguish them with a bucket of water, however that will be a bit more lengthy and will actually take up a lot more of your time. So something like this is already simple enough, and as soon as you've got something simple like this, you can always detail it with leaves, trapdoors, other things like that. So later on I will kind of just jump back and show you what you can do with it. I'll probably build it all and then just jump back and show you what I've done, but for now, from here you've already got this nice little area. You've kind of got nothing around you. Once you've cut down trees and things, you can put trees around your base. So I'd recommend getting some saplings and having just some trees around your base. Obviously you can do things like creating your own custom trees later on down the line, but I wouldn't recommend that for now. Just something simple as creating this little house here and just adding your own trees in with the saplings and bone meal. Obviously you're gonna have to add quite a few to kind of get a nice feel and space them out at appropriate distances. You end up seeing what I'm trying to say here is you can kind of create your own forest like I've been doing here. Obviously it's quite small for now, but you want to expand it, so you can get your own nice kind of forest. Then you can add a path and everything in, and you can really create your own house in the middle of a wood here. Or if you really want to, you could actually have just moved this whole thing into like one of the actual woods, but I personally think creating your own version of it is a lot better, as you have a lot more control over what you can and can't do with it. So I would recommend trying that out. Obviously as well, you're not always going to have bone meal early on, so it's just one thing that you might need to sacrifice for a while. You don't actually need it, but obviously path block is an easily obtainable thing. All you need is a shovel, and once again something like cobblestone is another quite easy thing to get, and you could use gravel, or you could use something like granite, because granite's one of those blocks that people don't generally like. And you can just play around and create your own kind of paths as well. So you can always have this path that goes to and from one place to another essentially. And we'll just have it curve a bit. So like so, like so, like so. And just, you know, create a nice little pathway here, connect it all up, throw in a few different blocks here and there, and you can really create a nice little path. Fill it out a bit more. Like so, and if it comes down you can actually add slabs to really give it a nice little toning effect to it, and so you don't have to jump up blocks, you can just walk up them, which is a nice thing to do. But obviously these things come at a bit of an expense, so it's up to you what you want to do. You can add just these small things in like so, and obviously they come at a bit of expense, but once again, nice simple one. And then if I was you, I live next to obviously the spruce forest, so something as simple as creating a little fence kind of post around here, and then like so, and having it come to here, get a gate, whack that gate in wherever you want. I'd probably go here, and then you can fill this with some berries, which is a nice little thing to do. So we can have some berries here. I'll probably add berries to here, and then if you actually lay out your gates properly, you could probably get some more in. But for now, I think that's enough. So I'm actually going to move this back by one. That will save me a bit of wood and a bit of time. And then obviously, when these actually grow, you could actually create this without the fence, which is a thing that will probably be a lot better. But obviously, you'll walk into it more, and you're more likely to take damage, which is something you probably don't want to be doing very early on. So you can grow these up a bit. If you don't want to use these, the fences going around it, for example, you can easily create something. I'll show you now. So if we knock these out, you can easily create just like a row, for example, like this, and then we just, obviously this tree's kind of in the way, but you can actually add like leaf blocks on top, like so, and then get some fences on the end here and here, and add those there. And then do the same for this. It will still stop you walking into them, and also kind of make them look like they're some sort of little vineyard. So it's one thing you can try out and test for yourself. It's just personal preference on how you want these. Obviously you can walk past them, right click them from below, and they will fall at your feet, and you can pick them up without worrying about kind of hurting yourself here. And obviously it looks quite nice as well, but this tree's kind of in the way. We're going to have to get rid of that. Obviously making space for everything as well is something that is absolutely key, and I would recommend kind of just making sure you're very aware of how much space you've got. But yeah, there's so much you can do with this. You've already got a nice little food section, you've got a house, and from here on you can kind of create your own mine. So one thing you might want to do is maybe you want to mine under your house, something like that. You can obviously add small things, maybe around the back, for example. This is a little kind of idea for us. I haven't really ever done this, but it's kind of came to me just then. You can create some sort of like underground cellar or something. So you could have maybe like trapdoors here, and then we could create, maybe we create trapdoors at this height, and then we knock this out and we create them at this height, and already you can get this nice little kind of hidden away area. And if we open it maybe this way, it will open fully, and this will open, and then you could have something, for example, this is just very out there, a bit different. So I've never actually really even thought about this until now. This could be a really cool concept that I've just come up with, but you can have some sort of little this kind of reminds me of a little like pub type thing. So you can kind of hide things away in this little underground kind of hatch. For example, you could maybe make this shorter, so maybe making it slightly shorter will actually look better. So we can have just a little small hatch here around the back that you can go through, for example, and it will take you down, and you can go down into a strip mine, or you can just create a strip mine somewhere or find a cave. But that is a little cool design I actually just came up with. I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to have to play around with that a bit more and get a nice looking kind of design for that. But for now, obviously, you can see here I'm just coming up with random things out of nowhere, and we're actually getting, you know, a little feel for this place. It's actually becoming a little bit of your own home, and you can detail it as much as you want. You can bone meal, add flowers and things around the outside, and it will really just spice it up and make it look that much better. So we just bone meal out the outside here, just kind of really filling up space. Obviously, right now, that's all you're going to really need if you want something to look quite as good. But obviously, adding in more trees and things, and then decorating a bit more as well, will really give you a nice feel for your build. But once again, using everything around you. So for example, I used the berry bushes. We've got spruce, we've got a kind of mixture of oak, and we've got birch. So everything that is around me is already fit in this. And cobblestone is easy to obtain, and gravel is pretty up to obtain, and the granite. But obviously, they're things that you might not find, so you could always replace them with other blocks. It's just kind of thinking about what you can use, but that's kind of a nice little way to start out your world. So you've got a nice little resource of food and a nice house, all probably within an hour or so. If you get this seed anyway, it'll be very quickly. It was actually a really nice seed. Might have to use this one for some sort of playthrough, something that I do, or some sort of little adventure. But yes, you can decorate your house however you want. replant your forest, for example, as well. So yeah, I hope this guide, it's not really a guide, but kind of me just kind of sharing some tips here, how to create your own little starter house and just get your world going. So you've already got a little mining around the back, you've got some food, you got a nice little house there. Obviously from there on, you're just going to need to mine, expand your base, and really create some more kind of styled, just more kind of things around your world, different places you can have your own house, you can have an armorer, you can create a town, you can create anything from this. This game is completely your world and you can do whatever you want, but I'm just kind of sharing a few tips here and there with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you all soon. Peace. So I actually ended the video a bit abruptly there, and I forgot to show you guys the final result of me actually finishing up this little area. So all I've done here is just kind of add a few lanterns in, bit of lighting here. Obviously we've got some barrels in the corners now that we can kind of afford those. We've got some campfires, with some fences on top, just here above the windows too. I've upgraded the windows all to glass. Got some hanging chains with leaves on, hanging chains up here with lights on, gates and campfires above the windows to create this nice little effect. We've got this grass and trapdoor kind of design here with some flowers in to make a kind of floating flower bed. The same on the side, obviously the campfire and the gate there too. Once again, a bit of the hanging chain action with some lanterns, leaves, and then we've got the little campfire gate effect above the window. This little kind of little design on the back here, wasn't really sure what it was, but it kind of fit and it looked quite nice. But we got a nice little stair and obviously 2 stairs at making chairs, and then this little barrel to be kind of a little sitting point on the roof here. And then around the back, I actually changed this up a bit, and we've got this little hatch here with some stairs and then some planks on this bottom half here. And obviously you can still open and go into your little hatch, which is kind of a cool design. Didn't really think of that one for a while, for like ever. I was trying to incorporate it in my builds once, and I never kind of came up with it until then. But yeah, nice little kind of touch up. Really just made the build slightly more better, and just touched out with a few little exterior designs, kind of just prepping and making sure everything looked good. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.